What were the terms of the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk? Have you ever wondered how a single treaty could change the course of a nation? The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, signed on March 3, 1918, between Soviet Russia and the Central Powers, did just that. This agreement marked a turning point in the history of communism and was a significant moment for the Bolsheviks after their seizure of power. So what were the terms of this treaty? First, let's talk about territorial losses. The treaty forced Soviet Russia to give up vast areas of land. This included Poland, Ukraine, Belarus, and parts of the Baltic region. These territories were home to over a quarter of Russia's population and produced more than a third of its grain harvest. Losing such fertile land was a heavy blow for the new Soviet state. Next, we have economic concessions. The treaty included provisions that protected the interests of the Central Powers. This meant that German and Austrian citizens and corporations were exempt from Soviet nationalization decrees. In simpler terms, the Bolsheviks had to allow these foreign interests to operate freely in the territories they had just ceded. Another important aspect was the default on previous commitments. By signing this treaty, Soviet Russia effectively canceled all obligations made by Imperial Russia to the Triple Entente alliance. This meant that Russia was officially withdrawing from World War I, a move that was both necessary and controversial. From the Bolshevik perspective, this treaty was seen as a necessary evil. It allowed them to focus on consolidating power within Russia rather than dealing with external conflicts. The harsh terms sparked debate among Bolshevik leaders, with some viewing it as a betrayal of the working class. However, others believed it was a tactical retreat essential for the survival of the revolution. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk was not just about land and economics. It highlighted the tension between ideology and practical needs. Lenin argued that the treaty was crucial for the survival of the Soviet state. This reflects how early communist leaders often had to balance their ideological goals with the realities they faced. In the context of the Bolshevik seizure of power, this treaty was a strategic decision. It allowed the Bolsheviks to redirect resources towards stabilizing their control and suppressing opposition. The treaty's terms were harsh, but they provided the Bolsheviks with the breathing room they needed to solidify their hold on power. In summary, the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk was a complex agreement with significant implications for Soviet Russia. It marked a critical moment in the early years of communism, showcasing the difficult choices faced by the Bolsheviks as they navigated their new reality.